Okay, so for video 2, we'll be going over vocations, skills, and primary weapon. The process of editing your equipment is essentially the same as the last video, but a few locations have changed. I'll reference in the description the older video if you want to look at that. The software and everything you need is essentially the same, nothing has changed. You need all of this here. IDE of your choice, SDK 6.0, .NET 6.0, excuse me. And I use Visual Studio, like I said in the last video. I use the community version, it's free and doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, let's start getting into it. We'll first start by opening Visual Studio. One thing you want to do before using Visual Studio, when you get too far ahead, is to join our development server, which is located here. There's an invite. It should always be available as far as I know. The reason why you want to join, which is mentioned in my last video, is that a lot of the information you need for equipment, variables, and IDs and whatnot are all here. You can type starts here and search. You can see I've told like 4 people that type this in. Jump to the message and click here, and any information you'll need to find will have images and default values, so you know what you're changing. If you want to change your headpiece, your glamour, your vocation, it's all here. So join our server, type starts here in the search, and take a look through here. See what you need, see what you're trying to change, and then go from there. If you can't find what you're looking for, feel free to ask a question, but please try to look for it first, and if you cannot find it, then ask. Any of the information you need number wise is the same zip folder from before. It has enemies, skills, augments, equipment, yada yada. Just download this and you'll have everything. So like I said, in this one we're going to be doing equipment, skills, and vocation. Not full equipment, just primary weapon for simplicity's sake. So the first thing you want to do is clone a repository. Clone this one, it's the newest version. It'll open up your Visual Studio and download all necessary files. So once you open up your cloned repository, it'll likely look like this, hopefully. If not, it may look like this. Either way, you'll be clicking the Dragon's Dogma Online solution. Just double click it. It'll boot everything up for you. The view of your Solution Explorer will change to look somewhat similar to this. You can just close these to make it easier to see each one. And the first thing we want to do is to right click DDON.CLI and go to Properties. After you right click Load Properties, you'll get a window like this. Might take a bit of time if it's your first time running Visual Studio. Just wait it out. It took me a while. You can see down here. I don't know why, just ignore that. Click on Debug, go to General. In this first line, type server start, and then you can close this. And the game will launch when you have DDON CLI up here, and you run on the debug mode. And that's how you open up your server. So, the first thing we'll do is change our skills. The location has not changed from the last video. Also found in this Discord. Go to start here. Skill section. So here's the skills. So we'll go to game server, game dump, game server dump, in-game dump. Just double click that. It'll be slow as shit because your computer's trash like mine. Click on this, and we'll go to dump 54. As soon as it fucking loads. And here is your skill section. It works exactly like it says here in this picture. And yeah, we'll go from there. So for this example, we'll switch to fighter. The fighter vocation is 1. So I'll change my vocation section to 1 for all of my skills. Easy as that. And then if you want to know your skills, that zip folder has them all, but I have them saved here for simplicity's sake, and it's a lot faster. We'll just use some random shit because I don't really care. Come on now. So we'll just do the first palette to save some time, and I'm not really going to play fighter, but the way this line works, it will be skill, which can be found here. Level goes from 1 to A being 10, and this last section is your vocation. It goes from 1 to B. Also goes in order in the list. So our skills will be Blink Strike, Cymbal Strike, Skyward Slash, and Tuck Toss. This is square, and these two are triangle. L1 for the first line, and R1 for the second line. Shift or Control if you're mouse and keyboard. Hopefully you're not. Next, we'll change our vocation and primary weapon to a sword. So now the new location, instead of it being in-game dump 13, it's now, I guess I don't need a fucking show because it's not there. It's now S2C character decide ID, some shit. S2C, I said S2C and didn't even spell it right. So S2C decide character ID res is our new location for character equipment and vocation. So the appearance was removed and shortened, but it follows the same structure. Here's the vocation line, change that to 1 because we're going to be fighter. We'll go down into our equipment. Internet fucking dying. I know this section is my equipment. 1, because I mess with the game a lot. 2, because all the information is here and I read it. So here's our primary, 6199. We'll change that to a sword using our fancy equipment ID list. Fighter warrior, fighter sword. I use Notepad plus. You can use regular Notepad, doesn't matter. We'll pick a sword from this list. Let's go with Nucleus. The IDs are in decimal. We need to put them in hex, 37DE. So now we have our sword. Change the color to 0. And we'll need a shield as well. So fighter shield. And then item level is nucleus? 75. Hopefully this is a matching shield. Haven't really done this in a while. 3806. Here's our secondary. 06. Alright, yep. So now our vocation is fighter, our skills are blink strike, the other trash, and we'll have a fighter sword and shield. Start up the server. Much like the easy setup video, you'll get a command prompt, but it's just file name is different. It'll look exactly the same as the other one, except it'll have the values you put in, not the values that we put in, or the ones that we have saved prior. You'll get a big blue message as usual saying it's reading from CSV, and you get this, it means it's running. So back into the game, start it. Pick this specimen, this creature. So now we're in game. We're fighter. Still look like shit. Still have our pawns. They talk now. It's the newest feature of this build. They make a video on it 'cause it's not that minor, or not that major. But the pawn chatter has been reintroduced. And you'll see our shit skills: symbol attack, tuck toss, blink strike, savage lash. So there you go. Skills, primary, secondary, vocation.